It's getting hot in here, planet Earth. Just like Nelly said.
But don't take off all your clothes quite yet.
I'm standing here with Steve and Paul, 50% of Hot Hot Heat guys. Why are we here?
Well, Jay, we talk a lot about the environment on tour. We use a lot of energy, we travel a lot, use a lot of fuel, a lot of electricity, and we were concerned. And we had a few questions we wanted answered that maybe we couldn't get from the internet.
And you mentioned that you actually knew some guy, so let's go talk to him, ask him some questions.
What is global warming? What are we trying to stop here?
It's the increase in average global temperatures that we're witnessing. We've already witnessed it over the last 50, 60 years, and all the predictions show that it's going to continue. It's caused primarily from human emissions of greenhouse gases. We're adding more of this stuff to the atmosphere, and by doing so, we're increasing what's called the greenhouse gas effect, which is leading to a warming of the seas and the atmosphere and the global temperature.
What are some of the side effects? Because I think the average person thinks, like, I don't mind if it's a bit warmer, I'd almost prefer it.
In a place like Canada and Vancouver, from a direct impact point of view, maybe we won't mind it so much if it's a couple degrees warmer. This doesn't sound like a bad thing, but one of the reasons we're standing here is when you have droughts in places, that can affect agricultural crop yields. Certainly 40 to 50 years out, we could see the risk of hunger tripling globally.
What are some worst case scenarios? Are there going to be global superstorms potentially, or do we just not know at all?
Under some sort of worst case scenarios, you could be looking at things like obviously sea level rise, increases in diseases like malaria, hunger, as we talked about earlier, storms, things like hurricanes, Hurricane Katrina, these sorts of size storms could increase in frequency and number, and with that comes all the economic impacts and impacts on social systems and health systems.
What are some things that the government is doing to protect its citizens, us, right now? What are they doing to ensure that our children won't be left with the burden?
A lot of people would argue that hasn't been enough done up until now, and a lot of the measures the government's put in place have been voluntary measures or educational. We're in a province here in BC that's really a leader in this area. We've introduced recently a carbon tax where we're putting a small tax on carbon dioxide emissions. We're also looking at doing things like increasing legislation to get vehicles and transportation modes to switch to more renewable forms of fuel and whatnot. So there's lots of sort of a whole collection of strategies and policies that are coming currently in existence, also coming down the pipe that will make a big difference here.
Other than maybe taking shorter showers, turning the lights off, walking to the store, what can we do?
These are all the types of things you want to do, and it might seem like a little bit for every one person, but you do it all sort of collectively, it can certainly add up. You talked about doing something that's cool. I think there is now a trend where it looks good to do these things amongst your friends and your peers and your coworkers and whatnot. It's hip. It's better to take some action now with a little bit of pain and address this head on rather than doing nothing and in 40, 50 years subjecting ourselves and our kids and our grandchildren to a lot of pain.
So what you're basically saying is, as a musician, it's better to be a drummer and not, plug in to the electric guitar. Better to stay percussive.
Maybe join the Blue Man Group.
Or the Green Man Group.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your time. Let's all shake hands together because that's more energy efficient.
So calm, so patient, yet also calculated.
Guys, how do you feel about the interview we just conducted?
I think the purpose is just to get people thinking about it more often. It's just small, tiny little changes over the next 10 years, I think.
And me, I'm just going to keep on taking those baby steps towards a brighter future.